Today's lesson is A World of Flavors, French fries from around the globe. Hi, everybody. I'm Roger.
And I'm Helen.
And today we're going to continue talking about different variations or different versions of French fried potatoes. We talked about a couple different variations in our last program. We talked about poutine from Canada, and we talked about chili cheese fries from the USA.
Yes, and these are all variations of traditional French fries. One comes from Canada, the other one has disputed origins, and I bet they also taste very different because poutine probably has a richer, meatier taste because it's made with gravy and cheese curds, whereas chili cheese fries are spicy because they're made with chili con carne.
Yes, and these, of course, are very tasty, but I imagine they are high in calories. So don't eat too much of this stuff or you might have health problems. But still, once in a while, it can be quite tasty. These are some examples of good comfort foods from Canada and the USA. And today we've got some other variations of French fried potatoes that we'd like to talk about. So let's begin by talking about carne asada fries.
Carne asada fries. This messy but delicious dish features fries topped with grilled strips of tender beef, guacamole, sour cream, and cheese. Created by a Mexican restaurant in San Diego, California in the 1990s, carne asada fries are a fantastic fusion of Mexican and American flavors that provide just one example of the wonderful things that can result from cross-cultural exchanges.
大家好，我们来看第一部分中的单字 messy， 它是形容词，意思是凌乱的、邋遢的。例如 Isabel's desk is always messy. Isabel 的桌子总是很凌乱。或者 You really should clean up your messy room before mom gets home from work. 你真的应该在妈妈下班回家前把你杂乱的房间清干净。另外补充这个字的相关名词 mess, M-E-S-S, mess， 意思是混乱，也可以是困境的意思。例如 The painters made a huge mess in the living room. 油漆工人把客厅弄得一团混乱。或者 I don't know how you're going to get out of this mess. 我不知道你要如何摆脱这场困境。下一个我们来介绍动词 grill， 它的意思是用烤架烧烤或是炙烤。在课文中 grilled 为过去分词做形容词用，表示烧烤过的或是炙烤的。例如 Grilled chicken breast is a favorite of some bodybuilders. 烤鸡胸肉是一些健美运动者的最爱。又或者是 You can grill the steaks while I make the salad. 你可以在我做沙拉时烤牛排。
First, we're going to talk about carne asada fries. Now, this messy but delicious dish features fries topped with grilled strips of tender beef, guacamole, sour cream, and cheese. No wonder it's messy. Something that's messy is not neat. For instance, if you're eating a cheeseburger and the cheeseburger is really oily and the cheese is melting and it's dripping down your hands and it's getting your mouth all oily, you're eating a messy cheeseburger because it's creating a mess. It's not neat. And here, this type of fries, carne asada fries, can be messy, but it's still delicious.
Right, and of course, carne asada comes from Spanish. Carne means meat and asada means roasted. And of course, this is a messy dish because it has all sorts of ingredients. We've got grilled strips of tender beef. If something's grilled, it's cooked on a grill, which is when you have those metal bars and then you have coals or something underneath that heat up the meat on top of it. So these strips of beef, they're tender and they're grilled. And then they're put on top of the fries along with guacamole, which is a sauce that comes from the avocado fruit, which is quite popular these days. And also you've got some sour cream, which is a dairy product. And you've also got cheese, which is also a dairy product. And that's a lot of different ingredients. So no wonder it's messy. Messy means disorganized. Like your room could be messy. You've got books and empty bottles and cans all over the floor. You need to tidy it up up so it isn't so messy.
Right. And messy doesn't necessarily mean dirty because your room can be messy because you have clothes strewn all around it and things all around, but it may not necessarily be dirty because the clothes are clean. So there is a slight difference between messy and dirty. Now, carne asada fries, created by a Mexican restaurant in San Diego, California in the 1990s, are a fantastic fusion of Mexican and American flavors that provide just one example of the wonderful things that can result from cross-cultural exchanges. So we know now where carne asada fries comes from. They come from a particular restaurant, a Mexican restaurant to be precise, in California, and they were invented in the 1990s, and they represent a fusion, which is a mix of two types of cuisine, Mexican and American.
Right, and it was created in a Mexican restaurant in San Diego, which of course is a city in California, very close to the Mexican border. And of course, it came out in the 1990s, which is quite some time ago. And this particular dish is a fantastic fusion or a mixture of Mexican and American flavors. Now, fusion is when you put two or more things together. We could talk about nuclear fusion, where they're trying to take two hydrogen atoms and join them together to get some energy that way. That's what happens on the sun, nuclear fusion. Or you could have jazz fusion. It's a kind of music that has jazz and maybe rock and roll mixed together to create a new kind of music. And so we've got a fusion of Mexican and American flavors. And that's a wonderful example that can result from cross-cultural exchanges. In this particular case, we're talking about the crisscrossing of American and Mexican culture because, of course, there are lots of Americans and Mexicans living in California. Okay, that brings us to the end of the first part of our lesson for today. Let's move on now and talk about something called peri-peri fries.
Peri-peri fries. Peri-peri fries are another variation that apparently combines the cuisines of different cultures. These fries feature peri-peri sauce, a hot chili pepper sauce that's believed to have originated in Africa. According to some sources, the Portuguese brought the sauce back from their African colonies during colonial times and started using it on their own foods, especially French fries. The sauce gives the potatoes a spicy and tangy kick that's sure to hit the spot of spice lovers everywhere.
第二部分我们看到副词 apparently， 它有显然或是似乎、看来的意思。例如 By the time Tom arrived at the store, the special sale was apparently already over. 当 Tom 抵达商店时，特卖显然已经结束了。又或者说 The crying child is apparently upset that he can't have a cookie. 那个哭泣的孩子似乎对他得不到饼干而感到难过。接下来介绍形容词 colonial， 它的意思是殖民主义的或是殖民地的。例如 The city is known for its colonial architecture. 那个城市以其殖民主义时期的建筑而闻名。又或者说 During colonial times, this town was much bigger than it is now. 在殖民时期，这个城镇比现在大得多。另外补充这个字的名词Colony, C-O-L-O-N-Y, colony. 它是指殖民地。例如 Many countries in Africa are former French colonies. 许多非洲国家以前是法国殖民地。又或者说 The United States used to be a colony of the United Kingdom. 美国曾经是英国的殖民地。
Peri-peri fries are another variation that apparently combines the cuisines of different cultures. Now, before we talked about carne asada fries, and we mentioned that it was a fusion of Mexican and American flavors. Peri-peri fries are also a fusion, and apparently they combine the cuisines of different cultures as well. Here, the word apparently means that what you just said seems to be true because you heard that it was true, but you're not sure, in fact, whether it's true or not. So I could say, for instance, that John didn't come to work today because apparently he's sick. And that means I'm not sure if he's sick, but I heard that that may be the case.
Yep, seems that that's the case. I told you to clean up your room, but apparently you haven't because it's still a mess. And so apparently, according to our information, we don't know exactly for sure, peri-peri fries are a variation, and that variation combines the cuisines or different kinds of food of different cultures. And these fries feature peri-peri sauce, which is a hot chili pepper sauce that's believed to have originated in Africa. That means they're not 100% sure of that. It's believed to have come from Africa. It has originated in Africa. And so that's the peri-peri sauce, which is an ingredient in peri-peri fries.
And according to some sources, the Portuguese brought the sauce back from their African colonies during colonial times and started using it on their own foods, especially French fries. So the Portuguese were eating French fries long ago, and the Portuguese also went to Africa to colonize people, and that was during colonial times. First of all, when we talk about Portuguese, we're referring to the people and the culture of Portugal, which is a country on the most western part of Europe. So the Portuguese around 500 years ago colonized some parts of Africa. When you colonize a group of people, you basically go there and you start controlling everything in their lives and their land. And these people and these lands that are controlled by a foreign power are colonies. And when we talk about colonial times, the word colonial refers to those countries that are or were once colonies.
Exactly. So lots of European countries colonized parts of the world, including Africa and Asia. So, of course, a large part of Africa was colonized by France, for example. And, of course, there were some countries colonized by Portugal. And so the Portuguese brought the sauce back from their African colonies during those colonial times. We often talk about the Japanese colonial era here in Taiwan, which lasted from 1895 to 1945. Things were different during that period. And when you're studying Taiwan history, you will often learn about the Japanese colonial period. But we're talking about colonial times in Africa. And so the Portuguese knew a good thing when they saw it, so they brought it back to Portugal and they added it to their own foods, especially French fries. So French fries, of course, were widespread at the time, and the Portuguese thought, let's try this peri-peri sauce on our French fries and see how it tastes.
Yes, and the peri-peri sauce gave the potatoes a spicy and tangy kick. So spicy, as we saw before, means that burning sensation on your tongue that's created by spices or hot pepper. And tangy refers to a particular flavor or smell that's sharp. So you can say that lemon is tangy because lemon has a sharp and sour taste. So when you think of tangy, you can think of lemons, citrus fruits, and so on. And the word kick here just means something that is exciting or stimulating. And the meaning here is that when you taste peri-peri sauce on your tongue, you're going to feel this tangy kick or this surprising and stimulating effect on your taste buds.
Right. To me, tangy describes salad dressing. It's oftentimes kind of tangy, like Italian salad dressing or Caesar salad dressing. And yes, indeed, this particular sauce on French fried potatoes gives the potatoes a spicy and tangy kick, an extra feeling, and it's sure to hit the spot of spice lovers everywhere. If something hits the spot, it is really satisfying. For example, maybe it's a cold day outside and you go inside and have a hot cup of coffee. It really hits the spot. It's exactly what you wanted. It tastes really great because it's so wonderful on a cold day. I'm a big fan of noodles, spicy noodles, so sometimes if I haven't had them in a long time and then they finally have them, it really hits the spot. It really tastes really good. It's very satisfying. Okay, that brings us to the end of the second part of our lesson. Let's wrap things up now. Let's summarize in the third and final part of today's lesson.
While the origin of French fries is uncertain, their popularity in various countries has led to a delightful array of unique variations around the world. From the poutine of Canada to the peri-peri fries of Portugal, people from all over have put their own delicious twists on this beloved snack.
最后第三部分我们看到名词 popularity， 它是指流行、普及或是受欢迎。例如 The game's popularity died out after a few months. 这个游戏几个月后就退流行了。又或者说 The band's popularity in the United States has increased in recent years. 近年来这个乐团在美国越来越受到欢迎。
While the origin of French fries is uncertain, their popularity in various countries has led to a delightful array of unique variations around the world. So we did learn in the lesson today that there are many variations of French fries around the world. There is peri-peri fries, and there's also carne asada fries. And these are all variations, and these variations attest to the popularity of French fries in various countries. So the word popularity refers to the state of being popular. When something is popular, it's enjoyed and liked by a lot of people. And that means that this thing has a lot of popularity among a particular group of people.
But I could say the band made a lot of money during the height of their popularity, but later on they became less popular and the band broke up. So we're talking about the popularity of French fries in various places or countries around the world, and we've got this delightful array of unique variations all over the globe. If something's delightful, it makes you very happy. You're very cheerful when this happens to you. Of course, if you eat these different kinds of French fries, you will be very happy when you eat them. Oh, it's so tasty. I like it. Gee, I wonder why I didn't eat this before. An array here just means a variety of things. You have lots of things to choose from, and we've got these unique variations around the world. And here in Taiwan, my daughter said there's often a discussion on D-card about who serves the best French fries in Taiwan, which fast food restaurant serves the best kind of French fries. But, of course, we talked about different recipes. They're not just plain old French fries with salt on them. The French fries we talked about have different ingredients added to them, like poutine with gravy and cheese curds. We also talked about peri-peri fries with a peri-peri sauce, and we also talked about carne asada, which is really messy. It's got, of course, tender beef, guacamole, sour cream, and cheese. Oh, that sounds like you could gain 5 pounds just looking at it.
So these different types of French fries show that there are different arrays or a wide array of variations of French fries around the world. And as Roger mentioned, an array means a large number or a wide range of something. And there is a wide range of different types of French fry recipes. Depending on where you're coming from, you'll have French fries with different tastes because different sauces and toppings will be put on the French fries. So in conclusion, from the poutine of Canada to the peri-peri fries of Portugal, people from all over have put their own delicious twists on this beloved snack. When you put a twist on something, you're making that thing more unique or more unexpected, different from the original version. And these people are putting their own unique twist, their own delicious twist, because they're changing the original based on where they come from and what ingredients are popular in their own country.
Yeah, twist, of course, is an unexpected turn of events. Sometimes you're watching a movie with a twist ending. It will have an ending that you did not expect at all. But here you're putting your own delicious twist on this beloved snack. You've got the plain old French fries served in fast food restaurants. But then, of course, there are variations, and different areas put their own delicious twists on this beloved snack. And I'm wondering what kind of local twist there is here in Taiwan on French fries, because the people of Taiwan really know how to experiment with different kinds of food. I can't wait to try the variations here. Okay, that brings us to the end of our explanation for today. Here comes Hanny.
各位同学大家好，我是 Hanny， 我们来看今天的文法重点。课文第二部分介绍了霹雳霹雳辣酱薯条，那它的特色就是霹雳霹雳辣酱。课文接着就有说明这种辣酱啊，它是 a hot chili pepper sauce that's believed to have originated in Africa。一种据信源自于非洲辛辣的辣椒酱。好，这边用到动词 originate， 在这里是不及物用法，它就有那种发源、起源的意思，常常会搭配 from 或是 in 去加名词来表达发源自什么，起源于什么什么。不过为什么它这边会用to have originated in 点点点，这个 to 后面怎么会是接完成式呢？好，那我们这边首先要先来看这个句型是主词 be thought to 加原形动词，或者是主词 be believed to 加原形动词。那这是用被动语态去表达公认或普遍的事实，表达说一般认为怎么样，据信怎么样怎么样。像 The castle is thought to be over 800 years old，一般认为那座城堡有超过800年的历史。特别注意，当这个句型当中的不定词所描述的动作，这个时间发生的比主要子句还要早的话，不定词 to be 要改成不定词完成式 to have 加过去分词 PP。例如 The castle is thought to have been built in the 12th century。一般认为那座城堡建于12世纪。那教堂被建造是发生在过去，这个被建造的动作呢，比人们认为的这个动作更早发生，所以我们是用 to have been built， 而不是 to be built。好，那像课文的句子也是如此咯。A hot chili pepper sauce that's believed to have originated in Africa。这边的 believed 后方就是用不定词完成式 to have originated， 而不是用 to originate， 因为这个发源起源的动作是发生在更早之前。好，那也补充一下，people think 或是 people believe 加上 that 子句，还有就是 it is thought 或是 it is believed 加上 that 子句，这些句型也可以表达一般认为怎么样，据信怎么样。如果我们用这两个句型来表达一般认为啊，那座城堡有超过800年的历史，这时候我们会把它写作 People believe that the castle is over 800 years old， 或是 It is believed that the castle is over 800 years old。可是呢，如果我们要表达一般认为那座城堡建于12世纪，则会写作 People believe that the castle was built in the 12th century， 或者是 It is believed that the castle was built in the 12th century。 注意这时候我们的 that 子句里面是用过去式动词 was， 用 was built 来描述被建造是发生在过去的事哦。好，那以上是今天重点整理，我们来回顾今天的单字吧。
Messy. Since she's only 2 years old, Pearl often gets quite messy when she eats. Grill. I'm planning to grill some steaks for dinner tonight. Apparently. Felix didn't answer his phone when I called, apparently because he was in a meeting. Colonial. The town's colonial history is visible in the style of its older government buildings and homes. Popularity. When one of the band's songs was included in the movie, the band's popularity exploded. Delightful. The bakery down the street sells a variety of delightful cakes and cookies. Array. Marilyn was somewhat amazed by the wide array of products available at her local supermarket.
Discussion starter starts now!
Here's our discussion starter for today, and the question is, can you think of any other ingredients that could be put on French fries to make a delicious variation? Why do you think that would taste good?
I'd like to try French fries topped with taro and red bean sauce because I think that would be an interesting Taiwanese version of French fries. And we could also make French fries into a sweet, into a dessert rather than something salty.
Interesting. Well, I was thinking along the same lines. I wonder if there's a way to make show tofu with French fries instead of the tofu. That might actually be a unique twist.
Well, everyone, today's article has come to an end, and I sure hope you enjoy reading along with us. I am Helen.
I am Roger.
See you next time.